Hi everyone, how you doing? Hope you're all very well. Um, Welcome to Ben, brand new member. Um, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'll come back to that in a second, Ben. Um, Hope all is well with all of you. As you can see, I have the famous Meng King Tiger here, ready to go, and we'll just catch up with what's been going on and what you're up to. Um, let's see. Right, Ben. You have problems airbrushing gloss white and yellow, and you get pooling and see the primer. Okay, so my guesses first of all would be you're thinning them a bit too much. Maybe putting a bit too much on at the same time at once as well. Um, Gloss. Oh, whenever I do, I tend not to do much gloss spraying, to be honest with you. I just put in what colour I've got, and then if I didn't want gloss, then I'll put some gloss varnish over the top. Spraying gloss, uh, yeah, I think it's just a matter of how much thinner you're using. If you're getting pooling and you're not getting it clear, then you're trying to push down too much colour at once, and it's just sort of pooling on the surface, and the pressure of the airbrush is sort of blasting it sideways. So you just need to do lots of coats, but thin coats, and let them dry properly in between. That's another absolutely key thing. Or do them with another type of paint and then put a gloss on top later, which is what I would normally do. I'm just trying to think. Yellow be the same, and also if you're using white or yellow, white you should maybe try a white primer underneath as well. Yellow, either a white primer or a pink primer. They work very well with yellow as well. So it's also the colour of the primer will make quite a big difference. Hope that works. If anyone else has got any ideas, please give a shout in. Please do. Crazy Roger, howdy, my friend. I hope you're very, very well. I saw Nick was up. I have to go and quickly go back through here. Nick through here. Dave at World War II Scale Models. How you? Duke Wellington, g'day, mate. Seriously, getting up at this time in the morning. I hope it's like a really late night rather than a really, really early morning for you. But that's some effort, my friend. Well done. Peter, great to see you again. I hope you had a nice vacation out there. Yep, there's Nick, Mystery Box. Nick, how you doing, my friend? Chris Firth, how are you doing? Oh, Peter Mutz is indeed a legend. Thank you for that. Driving while listening, and please, Crazy Dodger, please take really good care out there, mate. I know you're listening and all that, but please try and be safe out there, eh? Okay, so let's go a quick catch up on what's been happening. I got the haircut and the beard trim, as you will have noticed, which is about time. Lost probably about 3 or 4 kilos, I think, the amount of rubbish I had on here. Been working on all sorts. I've got so many things in the pipeline for you, let me tell you. But my favourite thing recently, of course, has been the Arado Flying Wing, which is here, which is this lovely, beautiful, beautiful thing here, which was a whole lot of fun to do, and using that fancy new gallery airbrush as well made the camouflage job really straightforward. That's a big old beast as well, you know. 1/72 scale. That was fun to do. I've been working on my Equinox build. Right, so this is how far we've got. So I've got the frame and taped it up so I don't make a mess of it. Put some clay, some Daz clay in there, air drying clay. Cut the hull down slightly so it all fits nicely. So next thing is start painting the ship, then putting all the actually no, maybe put a lot of the photo etch first, then paint it, then put the rest of the photo etching resin and yada yada, and then do this. So that's quite fun. There's more I've been working on as well. What yellow did I use on the Arado? The underside yellow I used Tamiya XF 3, just flat yellow. I think with a couple of coats, if you've got like a white, again, here we go, it's this thing of a white primer coat, and then I think I did 2 coats of the yellow. It gives that really rich yellowy colour I always associate with RAF trainer yellow, or whatever yellow they use underneath it, but look, to me it looks like trainer yellow. So it's just plain XF3, which I like. I'm really getting to like the Tamiya XF range a lot. Been using it more and more and more, even mixing, rather than going to one of my Vallejo RLM colours. I look up how to make that RLM colour from mixing bits of Tamiya together. I'm even doing that. It's quite crazy. Yes, ACF Nugget, yes, I did get your email with your Equinox entry. If I haven't answered to it, I do apologise. I will get onto it as soon as we finish tonight. I'll double check that I have got there, and I should have answered you. I'm really sorry if I haven't answered you. I know I tried to. Mr. Little Pete. Oh, you finished the Bond Bug. It's a lovely little kit, the Bond Bug. Haven't painted the driver. So you paint the bug. You know, they get parked without drivers in, apparently. Why didn't they supply mirrors? I don't know. What the mirror situation wasn't a Bond Bug, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't know. Just that's what they did back in the day, I guess. Dane, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you too. My stash is growing. Yes, I know, Nick, it is. And it's that I have actually run out of room up there. I put shelves up there, and I literally cannot put anything else up there now. So I've got a couple of things I need to start next week, which are in big boxes. So that should hopefully, create a little bit of space. But at the moment, it's like a geological stratum. This will make at the moment. There's so much up there, so many things I want to make. I can't tell you. I wish there were more time. I wish there were more than 24 hours a day, in which case I would be making them. Dane, I'm looking forward to your builds, my friend. I really am. Email paint. Don't remember that. Tell me more, Jaws. Tell me more about Revel email paint. Yeah, do you know what, that little F30, in fact the Spitfire and the F35B starter sets I think are lovely. I mean there's issues with the F35B with some of the things in it, but do you know what, it is a starter set. It's not supposed to be brilliant, and there are corners being cut because they don't want more than about 25-30 or so pieces. One thing I wish they had done, and I really wish they had done it, on the decal sheet is had a Union flag for the inside of the lift fan inlet. That annoyed me a bit, but other than that, it's okay. It's alright. Yes, the SRN1 has shipped, Andy. Yes, I got a notification that my one's being prepared, whatever that might mean. Hoping it'll be here tomorrow or the day after, so that'll be fun. Do you know, I paid for that with my hobby points. First time I've used my hobby points, so essentially it just cost me postage to get, which is really nice. Very happy with that. It's interesting, when we went to Margate last year for our day out with Airfix, we had a look in what they called the tool store, and it wasn't the tool store at all. It was the old tool store that had been a tool store, but in fact what they had in there mainly were tools apparently that were being checked and cleaned, ready to be shipped to India for production, that they had forgotten to get out of the way before we all turned up. So when I'm filming Dale for a piece about the spare parts or whatever, there are all these tools on pallets, and I'm looking down and saying, oh, Rotodyne, oh, you've got to have that, mate. SRN1, wow, that's exciting, I remember that. There's a lot of the kits that were there at the time, they've re-released. All I'm saying is, one of the tools that was there was the SRN4, the big 4-inch. It was there. I'm not saying they're going to make it, because they also had the tools for Napoleon and Queen Victoria, which I don't see them releasing anytime soon. But it was there just in case. Let's keep an eye out on that. Just keep an eye out on that. Oh, Lee from Anfield. Hello, my friend. Email is French for enamel. I don't know. Maybe it's. I've no idea. No idea what's going on. Nick, I'm not trying. I'm extremely trying, if you'll pardon the expression. Yeah, I'm trying to make the kits, frankly. I don't want a stash, oddly enough. I want a reserve of things to make, but I want the time to make them all and do the videos. And the kits I'm making are more and more complex quite often, which means they're taking more and more time. I'm loving it though. You know, as I said to you before, there's that program on the TV about RAF Lossiemouth and the RAF up there, and there's a station warrant officer who, you know, is God. Let's be honest. On an RAF station warrant officer is the stand-in for the Almighty, because he is Almighty. And he's wandering around very nicely, sees someone. Morning, Sergeant, how are you? Very good, thank you, sir. How are you? Living the dream. Everything, living the dream. And that's how I feel, because no matter how many hours I have to spend here in this room building stuff and videoing stuff and then going next door and video editing and all the rest of it, it's living the dream. It's just so much fun. Ben, thing is, see, if your dear lady's not happy with the size of the sash, and I hope that is a literal thing you're saying, then my advice is just make some kits then, and then you'll be reducing this. You say, yeah, you see, you don't like the size of my stash. I'm spending my time making the kits to reduce the stash. Perfect. Jesse, Jesse, hi, good to see you, my friend. How are you? Oh, right, the Harriers, the Hobby 2000 one. I like that so much. Please do send me some pictures of it, though. I love that Hobby 2000 Harrier. Really enjoyed that. Yeah, yeah, it is ACF Nugget. It is amazing. I've got a stash, but you know what? It is down to the generosity of a lot of people who are leaving messages here, frankly. It's also down to the generosity of lovely people like ICM who tempt me once a month with an email and say, this is what we're releasing next month, what would you like? And I have to really control myself so much because I've got so many ICM kits up there. And I've just asked them for another. I just asked, actually this month isn't too bad because there's the only thing I actually quite fancied making, if you would have seen it on Monday Matters, was they've got like a truck that's a half track, so it looks like a really old SDK, it's a 251 or whatever it was. So it's like a regular delivery truck type thing that they've whacked on some tracks at the back in a very haphazard way, and it looks fantastic. It's 1/35. It'd be a lovely thing to make. It'd be interesting to see how they do tracks actually, whether it's, I don't imagine it's individual links, it's probably length and whatever they call it. And that's the only thing I asked for this month, because next month, November, is I believe when they'll be launching their 1/48 scale Marauder, and I definitely want one of those, and I will definitely be building one. So from ICM at the moment, I've got the Cossack 2 vehicle to build, which is the mine resistant modern one. And there's also the KI-21 that arrived the other day from them. The Sally, I think it's called the Sally, the just beginning of World War II bomber. It comes with 2 KI-27 fighters as well, which is right. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I've got from them. I'm still building the Mistel. I'll show you. Right, that is the Junkers 88 part of the Mistel in 1/48. It's huge. That's how big the Marauder will probably be, but maybe a bit longer. Oh God, Crazy Locher, do you reckon the Edward guys are going to be at Telford? I didn't see see them on that. I know Kinetic are going. I know that. If Edward are going as well, I'll have to take my Bunny Fighter Club shirt. So anyway, so we've got the Junkers 88 segment. There's also the BF 109 that sits on top. It's very smart camouflage. I need to do the stuff on the side there, obviously. So that's theirs as well. I've got another couple of BF 109s that are in production for another reason, but let's not worry about that. Special interest groups on the channel. Well, that's a possibility. I haven't thought about it. If you've got any ideas about that, then give me a shout. Yeah, I haven't really thought about it. I do work on the Facebook channel when I can, but again, it's what I need to do is start getting a proper workflow done. So say when I get up in the morning, I walk the dogs with Maria. We go for a walk with the dogs, and so we need to wash them and go whatever, grooming, whatever. Then maybe that's when I should start. First thing I should do is just do half an hour of social media every day and just keep on top of that. I try and keep on top of it, and that's maybe when I can do things like special interest groups and whatever. I don't know of a BD5J microjet kit. That's a really lovely plane though. I do remember seeing them flying around. Crazy. From what I understand, quite dangerous. But I don't know. I'm sorry. I have to keep. I go off on a ramble and and nothing happens here. And then I have to go back and check that I haven't missed out anything that I should. Anyway, so Crazy Searcher, I don't know if the Edward people are there. I'll have a chat with them and see what's there. FX guys, I'm trying to arrange to do some interviews with them because I just have a feeling they're going to announce something at Telford and I don't know what it is. My gut feeling is it will be something like the Mark 8 Spitfire in 1/24th. Maybe they'll announce that because that just seems to me the most obvious thing that they will do that's big, because if you've looked at the Mark 9, there's obviously a thing for putting in a retractable tail wheel. There's obviously, you can do different wingtips because it already comes with 2, but you could put extended wingtips in as well. The Mark 8 was the 3rd most produced Mark behind the 5 and the 9, so it has made a lot of them. It's not terribly well represented elsewhere. It's a relatively easy thing to adapt. You might need 1 or 2 different bits in the engine, but you know what, there may even be there. I can't remember every single piece of engine thing being taken off, so it might be that that particular mark of Merlin is already there. It doesn't need to be pressurized. And the other thing is they were mainly flown in the Far East, which means there's lots of very different sets of decals that they could do. So that's to me it sounds like an absolute no-brainer that that's what they're going to do, because it's set up for it. Um, Whether they're going to do that then, whether they have actually got something really big for next year and a properly new tool that they're going to show in as a 3D render. Um, they may well have the club kit again next year, which would be really cool. Um, anyway, we'll see. But anyway, I'm sure there'll be something on this. So I've asked Dale if he can spare 5 minutes on the Sunday morning to do an interview. I'll try and get an interview with the Kinetic people as well, because they're there. I will be having a chat with James Skiffins, because they're showing Outlaw Paints, which is really fantastic. Oh, Edward will be there. Okay, well, guess that's me talking to Edward then. I'll get in touch with them before they go, and see what I can do with them. Adam, did I pick blue and yellow as my logo to support Ukraine? Yeah, I did. Not going to be talking about that because this isn't the time or the place, but yes, it is. If you look at my back catalogue, you'll see plenty of stuff on there and whatever, but it's not something I particularly care to discuss. I prefer leaving it elsewhere. Keith, I've not used live colour paints. I hope someone else has. That will be able to help you. Dane, why Edward don't do any Griffin engine Spitfires? I don't know. I really don't know why they don't. See, to me that would be an interesting thing to do with the 124th, is for them to do a Griffin engine and some conversion stuff, and then you could make a Seafire 15 out of it. Just saying. You could make a Seafire 15. Obviously you wouldn't be able to do the wing fold, you'd need all that business, but you know, it's not impossible. Not impossible. Yeah. Fluorescent green and red and purple paint for Halloween. Well, yeah, that's Jake. That's going to scare people. That's a surprise. Dan, you were asking about the next group build. Yeah, we can do a poll on it at some point. I mean, let's get this one out of the way first. We've got another 16 days to go. I've got 16 days to finish my HMS Devonshire. That's scary. However, I'm sure we can do that. I did sort of drop an idea on the channel about in the community tab about maybe doing. I started off with captured kit because I liked doing the Arado so much in REF colours, or half REF colours, as if it had been liberated. I kind of thought that would be cool, but then someone points out that, you know, captured has got some pretty bad connotations for a lot of people, and I kind of understand that. So kind of things that are appearing in the wrong clothes, maybe we call it the wrong trousers, or we've got to be careful because you don't get then sued by Aardman Animations for it, but something along those lines. So it's stuff that is in colours other than what it was originally intended to be. An example that comes to mind is the P-59 Aerocomet at the end of the war, you know, the American first jet fighter that they designed, the P-59 Aerocomet. I've seen footage of that being tested at Farnborough, and it was in RAF colours with the yellow undersides and the big P in a circle thing. So it had been resprayed. It was never flown by the RAF. We were never seriously going to buy it. It was being tested. And there's a lot of planes like that ended up as well that were either captured or donated or just fell into someone else's hands one way or another, or they were sent there for a particular reason, that are in wrong colour, or you could just make them up. I mean, yeah, that could be something to do. But anyway, let's have a think. If you've got any ideas or suggestions as well for a group build, then give me a shout. But remember, 21st of October, you've got until then for the Equinox group build this time, which is these 1973 or earlier kits. Um, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Telford's going to be quite cool this year. Special hobby. All right, yeah. I don't know whether they may well be there. I mean, they've been doing some really cool stuff recently. I know, special hobby. Um, um, yeah, Telford. Last year I went to Telford with a really good mate of mine, and it's a lot of fun. Actually, it was a lot of fun. I had a really good time. This year I've got to be a bit more serious and a bit more grown up and a bit more professional about it. So I'll be there for both days. I'll be doing filming. I'll be arranging and doing interviews, and I've been chatting with. Oh, dude, Crazy Locha, thank you so much. That's really kind of you, my friend. So I'll be doing some interviews, as I say, and I'll be doing this and that. One of the guys at my local club is one of the judges on the competition this year, so I'm going to have a chat with him and the competition secretary and see if I can do some videoing around the competition entries before everything's too bad. Crazy Locha, you are an amazing guy. Do please stay safe out on that road. Be careful with those loads. Be careful with all the crazy tourists as well, my friend, yeah? We'll speak very soon. So yeah, it's going to be fun again, I'm sure, over 2 days and staying over for a couple of nights, and who knows, I'll bump into what will happen. But it'd be good. I'm looking forward to it. But a lot of contacts, a lot of chatting with people, a lot of filming people, and they're making a few videos at the end of it, hopefully, that will be fun and will be interesting for those of you who maybe can't get there for one reason or another. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Telford this year. Yeah, Simon, yeah, I remember I saw your F-35B in the Battle of Britain colours. That's really cool. That's really cool. I'm convinced I've got to. I might do one in D-Day colours. Yeah, D-Day invasion colours and stuff like that. That'd be really cool. Spruce and Goose, do I have spare kits? Sadly, no. The main reason is if I have anything spares, it goes to Models for Heroes. So unfortunately, I don't. But who knows? May do in the future. Depends what what some of these companies send me. You never know. You never know. Yeah, Crazy Locha, thank you for pointing that out. Guys, you guys that are members and have just become members, you get on Saturdays, normally on Saturdays I should say, there's a supporter special show that I put out. It ranges from sort of 10-15 minutes up to about 20-25 minutes, and it's literally me actually facing the other way with my workshop in the background, and it's just me talking about what I'm up to, what the plans are, showing more details about what I've been doing, what I'm planning for the future, I'm scheduling for the future, and then just bits and pieces about what's been going on and what I'm planning to do for the future. It's just like a proper catch-up, but it's a bit like a kind of an insider catch-up, if you see what I mean. I'm going to try and do some more things for my members as time goes on, but again, it's a case of hours in a day at the moment. Lee, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I think it's a good stream. I enjoy doing it. I really do enjoy doing it. Telford, it's not way up in the frozen north, dude. Come on, it's not that far. Yeah, really not that far. Oh my goodness, F-35B. Italeri Tamiya. Is that a 172nd one? Because I saw the Tamiya, the F-35B coming out in 148th, and it's like 100 quid or so, isn't it? Just absolutely amazing. But yeah, yeah, it's okay, dude. Um, Mr. Colour paints were pretty grainy. Okay. Do you know, I've not used Mr. Colour paints at all. So I don't know if anyone else has had a problem with them or thinks, oh, what you're doing is and can help out with this query. I don't know. Chris, you're going to tell for the first time this year. Excellent. Um, I've said it in the past, and it bears saying again. I'll be there. I'll be wearing the logo stuff, and you know what I look like anyway. You know, you 6'3", get in a beard, and that'll be me. Do come over and say hello, please. Don't think, oh, he's busy, he's doing that. Okay, if I'm in the middle of an interview with someone, maybe wait 5 minutes, but do please wait. Don't, or maybe go to and then come back. Don't think, oh, Gary's too busy to talk to me, because I won't be. I'm really, really happy to talk to anyone who wants to spare me the time to listen to me chat. I'm happy to talk to. So do please come. So the one thing I please do is when you come over, tell me who you are, because you guys see me. Unfortunately for you, you see me all the time. I never know what you look like. So Chris, for example, if you do make it up there, you do come over, please do come and say hi. I'm Chris Firth, whatever. And great, how you did, and then we can chat. Okay, but please do come and say hello. I love it. My mate Neil last year was just thought it was hilarious. People coming up and just, oh, you're Gary, come and shaking it. He thought it was just the funniest thing. He's known me 50 years, so he knows how absurd this whole adventure really is ultimately. But you know what? It's great fun, and I love meeting people and chatting about models. So please do come and say hi. Dave, good. I'm glad. So we will definitely bump into each other, which is fantastic. Adam, your dad was in Iraq. Oh, cool. A Chaddy 2 gunner. Excellent. Yeah, Models for Heroes is an astonishing charity. Very soon I'm hoping I'll be able to go down and spend the day with them and do a video about them. But the Malcolm, one of the founders guys, runs it, said, yeah, you can come down and do an interview but there's a price. And I was like, okay, what's that? He said, you've got to spend the day volunteering with us. And I was like, okay, sounds like a really good idea to me. That sounds like a properly great deal. They're just down in Reading. I live not that far from the M4. I can get to Reading in an hour or so. So I'll be scheduling a Monday in the not too distant future, I hope, where I'll be doing that and reporting on them, interviewing him, seeing what they do, but also helping out, hopefully, what they do for people who, you know, have given so much to us, not just in the military, but also first responders like police and ambulance crews and fire service and coast guard, all the people we rely on every day, and the military. You know, they have it tough, and sometimes it gives them ongoing problems. And model making is a really productive. It's a diversion therapy, so it can take their minds somewhere else, but also you get a sense of pride. And a lot of guys struggle with guilt and stuff like that, so things that they have done gives them guilt, where this gives them pride that they can do something and gives pride. There's lots of really good research that they're involved in on how effective this is, so I got to just give them a massive shout out, and I will anytime soon that I can. You know, I've been given a load of airbrushes recently. I only need 1 or 2 of them. I don't need the rest. They can have them as well. So, you know, if you're going through your stash and you're thinking maybe, oh, I'll never do that, or I'll never do that, and who can use that? You know, maybe they can. Just get all your you know, sometimes you're ordering something on Amazon and you go to they've got a link to their Amazon wish list, and maybe just buy them a couple of quid for something or other. Whatever. If you can, you can. If you can't, can't. It's not the end of the world. But just a thought. Just a thought. I think they're brilliant. Oh, Jake, Derbyshire. Yes, is it really that far? Oh, you're cleaning your Gallery 39 airbrush. That's nice. I maybe I'm hoping I am. I'm going to be appearing on their website when it relaunches later this month. They've asked me to be one of their, I don't know what, I can't remember what they call them now. Not like brand ambassador type of things, but a bit more sort of informal than that. But so that's pretty cool. So I've got to do a little bit of text about that, and then a link to my video reviews and whatever. So yeah, that'll be cool. So I'll probably be trumpeting that when it actually comes out. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, Chili Billy. Do you know what? These things are gathering momentum. I know there's a very similar program just starting up in Australia, and if some people are able to get it together and spend it, because it is a massive investment in time to set up these things, and you've got to be aware of local charity laws and all of that. It's a nightmare to set up, but yeah, it would be brilliant, because the marketplace for it in America, with your massively larger military, it comes with a massively larger number of people who need the help. But you're also in a huge country, so I guess starting one place and then spreading it out might be help. But I hope it can be done, because it's an amazing thing what they do. Captain Magenta, yeah, Malcolm just making conversation, which he does with James Skiffins, who is sprewbox.co.uk and all that. The two of them are quite characters. Let me tell you, I bumped into them at a few Airfix launches, and they are funny guys. They're funny guys, but my goodness, they put in the hours for various things. They're really good people. Telford's probably about 2 hours from where I am. 2.5 hours, I guess. It's not the end of the world. So not far to go. Let's see. Well, I just wanted to go back quickly and make Ben, so good to see you, my friend. Yes, do catch next one. Do come back for everything else that we've got going. Yeah, Crazy Loacher, while you're waiting to shift that load, drooling over the F-35B. I know that the stuff they were showing in Tokyo looks absolutely crazy. Looks so nice. And the B-24, yeah, B-24 and 148. That's madness. That's huge, absolutely huge. Really not sure I would actually have a going at that. That's a bit too much. ACF Nugget, how's my Zero coming on? Really, really, really slowly is the answer to that. There have been a lot of other things cropping up in my life at the moment that have been drawing my attention, and they need sorting out. Things that have to happen and have to be done, and things things crop up. I can't be living the dream up here all the time. Other things have to be dealt with. Unfortunately, there's quite a lot of them recently. So, a lot of things. I'm behind with my build schedule a bit. My chipmunk is here, as you can see. Although I have put in some of the straps, I need to put the rest of the straps in. But it's actually really nice. I'm really, really proud of this. Actually, I wonder if I can get a decent shot of it down here. Yeah, you can see maybe some other bits and pieces in there. It's such a lovely little kit at the moment. Anyway, so I've been filming that, shooting that and filming that. I'll keep doing that over the weekend. There's other things I need to do at the weekend. That's some stuff I need to do tomorrow. Oh, hi Joe. Hi Joe. How are you doing, my friend? Good to see you. So yeah, I'm sort of kind of behind in a lot of things, but catching up. I need to get ahead for Christmas time. I need to go ahead for the end of January. I'm going away, but although I've got a plan for that, which is starting to come together already. So yeah, the Zero and the MiG-21, actually, the 148th MiG-21, I started ages ago. Those really want to catch up on them, but you know, it's I've got so many other things I've got to build, as you can see. It's just a crazy amount, but you know, it's not a bad problem to have, right? You know, it could be a lot worse. Yeah, Andy, the Tank Museum. It's at Bovingdon. I'd love to go down there, but again, it would from here it would be such a long drive, I guess. I should have done it. Went down to Dorset-ish for the Sea King launch. I should have maybe have that was Somerset, but Dorset's kind of on the way. I could have gone down, but then I stopped at the Fleet Air Museum on the way down. So yeah. Oh, Spritz and Glues. Bye. Thanks for dropping in, my friend. Really good to see you. Thanks so much. Telford, yes, Telford has in like sort of 20 minutes from Cosford, RAF Cosford. We'll be going into Cosford on the way up there. I was just checking out today what they've got up there for me to have a nose at. And there's a lot. There's a lot for me to have a nose at. I want to see while I'm up there, not least of which the other TSR2. Obviously there's one at Duxford. And the Prone Meteor. Mainly because my dad flew in it as ballast. And oh, the Lincoln. I want to see the Lincoln. And there's all sorts of stuff up there I want to see. Yeah, this is a problem. Gift shops have a habit of having really cool stuff in, and really good books and things like that. I'm just going to keep well away from them, but don't actually, no, don't, that's wrong. No, don't keep away from them. Buy stuff there if you can, because it helps them and helps the museums keep going. Getting precious little money from elsewhere at the moment, a lot of these museums. They're the Great Wall 132nd Flying Tigers Hawk. Oh my goodness, that would be a beautiful kit to make, my friend. That would be a lovely thing. You've got to send me lots and lots of build build photos. I'm gonna, do you know, I've done it again. It's been going for absolutely ages, over an hour, and I've done nothing. So I'm going to put some shackles on the front of my Tiger. How about that? And I don't care what you think, I'm going to do it. He said confidently, then not being able to fit them over the edge. There we go. Yeah, Dane, that Meteor kit. It was nice to have a unique kit for the club, in that I don't believe that they're going to release it anytime soon as a standalone model. However, it's not the greatest kit, and there's bits of it that are really, really, really annoying to me, not least the nose gear having to be... This is something that annoys me, actually. Yeah, I see. I haven't actually glued these yet. Even that's the thing. I've got to glue them. I've made some kits recently. I've got a few kits recently, including that Junkers 88, where you're supposed to put bits of undercarriage in really early in the build. Normally, when it's either a nose wheel or a tail wheel, when the two fuselage halves go together. Yeah, which is grand, except it's broken. You know, you've got a whole rest of the kit to build and stuff to paint and put down and put up and pick up and move and I broke the tail wheel on the Junkers 88 after about 3 days. The nose wheel on the Arado, I decided I wasn't going to do that. I found a way of doing it otherwise. And I wish they would stop. If you're spraying the kit as well, it's a real pain in the backside. The other thing on the Junkers 88, because it had broken tail wheel there, the main gear has to be put in before the engine nacelle, base of the engine nacelles goes on. So you've got these sticking out all the time you're building the kit and spraying it and masking it and doing all the rest of it. These are sticking out. Fortunately, being 148, these are properly solid. But that tail broke. I've got to figure out how to put that on fairly securely. I just wish they wouldn't do it. Just really wish they wouldn't do it. There we go. That's my rant for tonight. The Lincoln at Crossford, is it haunted? That's interesting. I will ask Luke at Ethics about that, because he's had a play inside it, apparently. What do I think of Academy kits? What have I built from Academy? I have built the... I built the ME262. I think that was that an Academy kit? It was really nice, actually. Actually, it was really nice. It was a lovely, lovely kit to make. And very clever and sensible. One of the nose parts comes as a metal part as well, so it's a built-in nose weight, essentially. It was lovely. Actually, I seem to remember, a really nice kit to build. I haven't made a load of them. But hey, yeah, I like them, the ones I've made. I do have an Academy 1/72 scale sock with camel. It's one of the smallest things I've got on my shelves. It's a teeny. If I can quickly see it up there. Yes, I can. One moment. Yeah, there it is. And even the box is tiny. I mean, look at it. Yeah. I got this because I needed. I'll move the now. You know, I don't want the Tiger to collapse. The fact I've actually put two things on it. You know, I've got to let that stress out. I bought this because I wanted a Bentley BR1 engine, because I was making a Gloucester Nighthawk from vac form. That was hard work. So I wanted a proper engine for it, because the actually I don't know if there was actually an engine as such from it. Anyway, so the Camel had the BR1 engine, so I thought what I'll do is I'll get a cheap sock with Camel kit, take the engine out of that, and I can put that into the Newport. And unfortunately, as you may be able to see, the Camel don't have a separate engine. It's moulded into the nacelle there. So I've still got this tiny little kit with you know, raised panel lines and two sort of frames here of not very many pieces, and some actually surprisingly good looking decals for the age of it. Actually, one day I'll make it. How many parts are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's like 20 pieces or something. Yeah, that'd be fun to make. Maybe rig it as well. I do have a proper Camel up there as well, the wings one, which is another project I will have to start at some point. But anyway, yeah, 1984 this one. So that's the other Academy kit I have. I don't think I've got any others from memory. But I think like a lot of producers, recently they are upping their game, I believe. But you know what, you maybe have to, maybe someone on the channel here can say who's made a few Academy kits. But the ME262 I made was lovely. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I know, it's just rubbish. It was a rubbish part, that thing. Yeah, Dane, I'm looking forward to the 109s as well. I'm doing a... Steve, was it a Hobby Boss one? Oh, right, I do apologise then. I can't... In which case, I do not know if I've actually made an Academy kit. I have to go back and have a look and see. Yeah, Hobby Boss, you're absolutely right, of course it is. Do you know what? Worked out the other day, I've done just over 400 videos, which means I must have made like 100 kits in 2 years. and they don't all like mould into one, but you know, some say, oh, have you made the da 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 da? And say, maybe I have, maybe I haven't. I have to go to my back catalogue and see. So I'm going to do a little spreadsheet thing and put all these down so I know exactly what I have and haven't made. Although I was given some little booklets by Matt at Model Minutes, logbooks for modelling, so maybe I'll do them in those as well. German fighters are indeed a challenge with modelling, although as you would have seen on the Arado and actually on the review I did of the airbrush, getting that new gallery airbrush, that is just like another level. It makes it so simple to get some really nice stuff. So I'm really looking forward to doing Luftwaffe modelling for once. Yeah. Yeah, matchstick model. That's interesting. For the camel. That's crazy. Excellent. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. ACF Nuggets, that you've made Academy kits. The F-15E. Yeah, I made an F-15E from Revel, a new tool, about 1.5 years ago. That's pretty nice. But that's interesting to know. Have I ever thought of doing the Qatari Spitfire? I've thought about it, just never got around to getting hold of one. There's a lot of things I like looking at it. I like a lot about it. It does seem a lot of money for something that doesn't come with an engine, for example, and stuff like that. However, some of the design engineering is beautiful. Like the spine of the aircraft is one piece, so where you put the two fuselage halves together, there's then a spine piece along the top, so you don't have a join line. You just don't have one. Beautiful. Love it. Love it to pieces. That idea to pieces. Never painted camouflage. Really, Andy? Right. What I use is black masking gunk. I use a lot of masking tape. Let's put this back and pretend I'm actually doing some modelling. No, do you know what? I'm actually going to put a third piece on this kit. I'm going to put a headlamp on, or whatever this is. Yeah, headlamp. Yeah, I use a lot of tape. I use sort of the white PVC tape, if I have some around. Yeah. My modelling desk is an absolute tip at the moment, I have to say. Yeah, so I use this kind of white PVC tape because, you know, it's really easy to sort of lay up around corners and get nice curves on. I will then either fill in the middle with some frog tape that I use a lot of. This low tack. Make sure it's the low tack delicate surface type. Frog tape, and I get the big one because I can always cut that down rather than getting lots of different sizes. It's pretty cool. Or I've used I've got a pot of, so let's see if I can find it in here, in my paint drawers. Oh yes, I have drawers just for paint. And they are full of absolute rubbish, and I'm not sure it's even in there to begin with. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, masking putty. This masking putty stuff, which I really love using. I really love using. It comes off really cleanly. You do kind of need to use it quite quickly because it's like that putty that kids were playing with in the 90s and 2000s or whatever. You put it on and you place it, and if you leave it alone, it will just sort of relax. You put it in like that, and like by the morning, that will be absolutely perfectly flat. So it does relax. So you do need to use it fairly quickly, but it's very low tack. It doesn't leave a residue, and you can just use it time and time and time again. That's brilliant stuff. I use that a lot for camouflage. how's the village diorama coming along? Adam, I haven't actually done a lot to it recently, apart from that fountain. Started doing some pre-painting on, oh, doing some painting on the cobbles. I've done that, the cobblestones. It's getting there slowly, but it'll be there. It's going to take Peter. It's kind of a running joke with people here that it does take forever. And bearing in mind, I work on this once a month. You know, I only do this when I'm doing the live stream. It does rather take a lot of time. Chris, you know, tell Lorraine with the greatest self-respect, try doing this. I'm reading messages. I'm chatting to you guys, trying to find that, and I've got this. You know, if I could juggle that many things at once, I'd be in a circus. You know what I mean? I'm glad. I'm for providing entertainment, Lorraine. I'm kidding. I'm glad you're finding it funny, because I don't care if people laugh with me or at me. Frankly, as long as people are laughing, I'm really cool. So let me just check on the Qatari. Yeah, it's a lot of money for what it is in some respects. I know it's supposed to be exquisite, the modelling and all that. Maybe I'll have a look at, and they were there last year at Telford. Maybe I'll have a closer look and see whether I can. Yeah. If I could get any new tool kit, what would it be? Oof. Now you see, I know some of the things that I would new tool are on their way, like the 132nd Sea Fury that DBMK are doing, and the 148th scimitars that they're doing, and maybe doing in 172nd as well, and the de Havilland Hornet that they're doing, and I'm sure eventually they can do that as a Sea Hornet, which would be a beautiful thing to build. If I could get one new toolkit, what would it be? That's really hard, because there are several I would want to be seen. I've nagged, ever since I met Dale at Airfix, I've nagged him about the Halifax. I think every time they do a thing where they say this is how we decide on what kits to do, you know, ideally British, because British sells very well because we're a British company. Halifax. Iconic aircraft. Halifax, one of the big three bombers. The sort of memorial aspect of it is fantastic as well, because a lot of people flew and died in Halifaxes, as they did in Stirlings and Lancasters. Stirlings, of course, Italeri beat Airfix to it with the Stirling, and they should be ashamed that that happened in many respects. But the Halifax, there's lots of variants. So there's not just the initial boxing, there's like year 2, year 3, year 4 boxes that they can do. Lots of different marking schemes available. Victoria Cross was one flying one, so there's a celebrated one they can have. All the things that they tell us go into, oh, and you can, there's ones they can 3D scan as well. So all the things they say, this is what we require if we're going to make a kit, are there, and there aren't a large number of good Halifax models out there. The old Airfix one is still in quite a lot of demand, and it's pretty iffy. I've not built the Revel one, but you know, I haven't heard many people say it's a wonderful thing. So every time I see Dale, I say, mate, where's the Halifax? Come on, Halifax. I know, 172nd, I'm not going to be greedy. 172nd would be fine, but to have the Lanc and the Halifax and the Stirling to be able to be put on the table together would be remarkable, and Airfix need to do it, I think, because it's a British aircraft. But that's just me. That's pretty much, I don't know, but there's so many. If they're not going to do that, then entirely from selfish motives, I'd have a 1/24 scale Seafire FR47. There you go. I'd take the basis of, actually no, you couldn't take anything from the current 1/24 Spitfire, because it's a Griffon engine, had different wings. cut down fuselage. There's almost nothing different undercarriage. Like it's the same layout, but the oleos were different. Pretty much everything about it was different, to be perfectly honest. It would be an entirely new tooling. That I would love. I'd love a FR47 with the wing fold option and all that in 1/24 scale. That would. There we go. That's just me though. Hamden, yeah, Kev. That's the other thing. A Camden, Hamden is, you know, would they do it as a new tool? I'm not sure, because it doesn't meet some of the requirements on things like how many versions there were in the future. However, they made the Supermarine Swift, and there's only one release of that, so occasionally they have these oddballs. That would be a great plane to do as well. Absolutely amazing plane to do as well. Or indeed release the Vintage Classic. That's another option. They may do that. That's a possibility. Yeah, keep the putty, paint just comes away. Okay, really? Okay, I've not found any problem with using the putty. This particular putty anyway. I can't remember where I got it from even. I think I might have picked it up at Hannant's or something like that when I was visiting there. It wasn't a massive amount of money, but yeah, you can check them out online. Easy to get. Italy AC119. Oh my goodness. That's a good question. I've no idea. I've absolutely no idea. Yeah, Fix 148 C5. Yes, I made that. It's one of the first. When I picked up this hobby again, I don't know, 6 years ago or so. Something like 6 years ago. First thing I made was a 1/72 Spitfire, just like going back to my childhood really, because it was free with a national newspaper. And I sort of fell in love with making kits again. And I think fairly soon afterwards, I got that Seafire. I'm going to make another one at some point. I'm like I had started the Chipmunk again, because it's 2 years since I had made the Chipmunk. Maybe I'll look out on a Seafire 47 again and do it and see whether it will be, whether I can make a better job of it. Because the one I did for Dad was fairly basically painted, and it was brush painted, and yeah, there wasn't any weather. Well, there shouldn't be much weathering, but there wasn't any like seam work, and it wasn't a great build. So maybe I'll do that. Peter, still waiting for a 148 Scimitar. It isn't long to wait. I suspect. I don't know for sure, because the guys haven't told me. But I think we're looking just into the new year. If it's not out by the end of this year, I think early next year, the 148 Scimitar will be around. I don't know if they're going to have a build at Telford to show. I know they're showing their. They've got a they've got like a dimension model of their Hornet, the 1/32 scale de Havilland Hornet. It's not the parts breakdown that the actual kit will have. It's just like a 3D printed thing to check dimensions and shapes and things like that. The actual kit design is another thing to the actual overall shape design. So they've got a thing in the overall shape and size of 1/32 scale Hornet, however big that is, and that they're going to have at the show. I hope they will do stuff around. Yeah, I hope they'll have a Scimitar. They'll have lots of CAD scans on it, but I've been putting CAD scans up whenever I've seen them. And they've put out schemes for them. There's loads of schemes, lots of weapon options. Unlike the extra kit one, the tanker version will actually have a buddy tanker pod, Extra Kit did in fact it's the scheme on the cover, on the box art of the Scimitar in 1/72 that is now running, what, we get them about 100 quid or so, they're running out stupid money. The one on the box cover is 800B Squadron, which when 800 Squadron moved from Scimitars to Buccaneers, they had the Buccaneer S1, and for various reasons, not least because the Gyron Junior engines weren't very powerful, and also they're being flown from HMS Eagle, which had quite a short catapult throw and all the rest of it. They couldn't take off with a full weapons load and full fuel at the same time, so they had like quite a low fuel load to carry the weapons, shot off the front end, and they retained the Scimitars to be using as air-to-air refueling aircraft, so they could then top up on fuel, go and do their mission, come back to you in medals. Excellent. Unfortunately, the Extra kit of it has 4 fuel tanks, not 3 fuel tanks, and a buddy pod. However, there's a company that makes a buddy pod for you. But the 148th one absolutely said, yes, they will have a buddy pod. They'll have a Redbeard nuclear weapon, they'll have Sidewinders, I think they'll have bullpups. Basically what the Scimitar flew with in service, they will have on the kit, including a buddy pod for the 800B Squadron, which is absolutely fantastic, which is one of the 2 I absolutely have to have. A 148th battle would be cool. Bobby G, from Azure, FRROM, then AZUR. They are doing a 148th scale battle. They're doing 3 boxings of it, and not very long to wait for that, I suspect. I've seen CADs of it, I haven't, and I've seen box art, and I've seen schemes. They've got one which is like the Battle of France, one boxing which is like a Belgian one, you know, sort of European users, and there's one which are further afield users like South Africa, I think maybe Canada, somewhere, but definitely a South African one. So they're fairly imminent, I think, but they've been saying that for about 8 months. But it is coming out, and it looks nice on the CAD drawings. It looks really nice. It looks really interesting. Yeah, 148th Wellington would be absolutely cool. It would be so beautiful. You're right. And you know what? I maybe have a chat with ICM about that. You know, they're doing a B-26. Wellington's not that much different in size, is it? Really? You know, they've done Heinkel 111s, Junkers 88, Dornier 217s, all that in 48th. So, you know. Daniel C, does anyone make a good Supermarine attacker? Well, my dad would tell you, Supermarine didn't make a good Supermarine attacker, but that's another thing altogether. He did not like them very much at all, I will tell you. I have made one. It might have been Trumpeter, I'm going to guess, in 148th. The 172nd ones by AZ are okay, but a bit ropey. They're not wonderful. It would be a lovely kit actually for FX to bring out, but yeah, don't think they will. Even though they've got a bit of a thing of post-war fleet air arm going on in 48th, I don't think they'll go for an attacker. Sea Venom would be nice in 48th. Just saying. Simon, oh, 3:30, my dear friend, that is absolutely terrible, having to get up that early. Thank you so much for joining me and for staying up so late when you've got to get up so early. So Daniel, yeah, actually someone else has just made an attacker. I don't know if it's Joe. Did you just make an attacker, Joe Olmo? Someone's just, I've seen one on my Facebook group not long ago in 48th. It's a decent kit. You can get some nice aftermarket for it as well. For the attacker, it's actually not bad. Who else makes it? The Frog attack? No, Joe Elmo's definitely made the Frog attacker, or Novo, or depending on when you bought, what kit you bought. It's one of those things that then went to ARC models and God knows where in the Eastern Express maybe. It's all based on the Frog one, which is a shockingly awful kit. but you know, some people can polish them, let's say, make a nice kit out of them. But actually, I think Airwaves does a aftermarket photo etch set for the frog. Basically, it replaces about 2/3 of the plastic with metal, I think, to make it look even reasonable. The frog one doesn't even come with a cockpit. It's just like a flat cockpit with a pilot sitting in it, but the pilot's like part of the fuselage mould. So, you know, absolutely crazy. Yeah, the extra credit scimitar, I've made 2 of them now. Yeah, it was very basic. The thing that really annoyed me with it was that the wings, putting the wings on was a real nightmare. It's just like a bit of a cutout, sort of vaguely. Yeah, kind of go there. No sort of positive. I actually drilled them out and put dowels in to locate them. It wasn't a great kit, to be honest. And things like the air brake detail was missing completely and stuff like that. Not great at all. The new one, the 1/48 one, looks absolutely epic. I have to say, it looks really, really nice. And I think they're planning on maybe using it in 1/72 as well. And if they do, they will shift as many of those as they want to make. And in 1/48 they'll make as many as they can. They'll sell as many as they can make. In 1/72, you know, people are pretty much fed up of paying like almost 100 quid for the extra kit, which is very, very mediocre, I have to say. It's sad to say it, but it was really pretty mediocre. I actually did a wingfold conversion for it as well. Very proud of that. If you check out my 12 Planes of Christmas last Christmas, look at the scimitar episode there. I think I've put it on the revolving thing at the end is my my one. It's really nice. I actually had a lot of fun building that, but it's still not a great kit to make. Yeah. Yeah, that putty, you really, really, really do need to work on it pretty quickly because it will spread out. Yeah, do you know what, Dane? I'm kind of going to talk myself into a corner here, and I probably shouldn't do this, but I'm tempted to try doing the chipmunk just freehand. Now I'm getting used to that airbrush I used for the German camo scheme on the Arado. I'm kind of tempted to try it out, mainly because I might do some pre-shading. And of course what happens is, if you watched Jamie Hago's Modelling Cafe video about it, where he says he hates pre-shading, one of the things he doesn't like about it is that, you know, on something like an RF1, if you're in the habit of painting the whole thing, then putting on the, say, painted brown, then putting on the green, which I normally would do, then of course you've got 2 lots of paint on one part of the pre-shade and 1 lot of paint on the other, and it looks rubbish. So maybe I'll do it separately and see how well that works. I'm kind of yeah, I'll see how we go about that. I'm a little bit scared about doing it, to be perfectly honest, but yeah, maybe I'll have a go. Have I built the Armour Hobby Hurricane? Yes, I have. About a month ago, maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago. Yes, I did, and I liked it a lot, actually. From what I remember, it was a nice kit. It's back there somewhere in a box. Yes, it was a lovely kit. The 1/48 was really, really nice. The 1/72 ones are really nice as well. They're Hurricanes. Dane's saying he's not going to touch them again. I will say that I made their Aircobras P39Q Aircobra really fiddly. Really, really fiddly. And the decal shit, the decals were so, some of them were so small, the stencils. And I think, you know, I can't tell whether that's a decal or whether that's a bit of paint I've missed. You know, why would I bother? Really fiddly, beautifully made. But the other problem I find with them is that they pack the frames really close together. So there's a lot of parts that are really close to major runners that are very difficult to get off. And if it's something delicate like a 1/72 scale control column, that's right next door, and you need to get a scalpel or something in to make it. I can't be doing that. That's not so great. That's not so great. But you know, the 1/48 Hurricane was beautiful. Oh, really nice. Really, really nice. Invasion stripes, yeah, a lot. You're right, they're not perfectly straight. I can't paint perfectly straight anyway. So yeah, I do put tape on for invasion stripes. I think the Marauder, when that comes, I'm going to do that. The box art for that is has got D-Day stripes on. I'm very tempted to do those, but I will be doing those with spraying stuff in. Okay, yeah, Stuart, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll try post shading instead of pre-shading. That's a very, very good idea, actually. Dean, have I ever made any car models? Not well. I've made a couple of Airfix ones. I think the old E-Type and the Aston Martin Le Mans car. I haven't made it proper car kits as such. Made a couple of trucks. I've got more trucks on the way. I haven't got any cars. Oh, I've got a Land Rover up there. The Italeri Land Rover. That's got to be done. That's definitely got to be done because that was a gift from some very lovely people at Model Works. So I should make that at some point. That's the only proper car as such. I haven't got any, and I've never made any sort of one like the AMT ones. I mean, they look lovely. There are some American cars I would happily make in those. A really nice AC Cobra. That would be a car and a half. A good AC Cobra. It's not 1/12 scale AC Cobra. Get some proper paint for the surface. Oh man, that would be beautiful. One of my favourite cars. Yeah. DB5 convertible. I'd like to make one of those. But yeah, probably AC Cobra, I'm guessing. Have I ever scratch built anything? I'm going to have a drink. I'm so thirsty. The only thing I've scratch built so far of any worth was the camera for my photo reconnaissance Spitfire in 1/24th. Excuse me. I didn't make a brilliant job of it, but it was good enough because it was going inside a kit. However, I at some point fairly soon I'm being sent a very basic 3D printer to try out, and so I'm going to have a crack at making one of those in 1/24th scale f/24 camera. See if I can make that in 3D print, which is kind of not scratch building. I know it's a different thing, but yeah, that's the only thing I've scratch built. I haven't scratch built any kits at all. Have I ever built a vac form kit? Yes, I have. I built a, as I was saying earlier, Newport Nighthawk, Nightjar. It was a Newport biplane just after the First War that the fleet, then the RAF, got hold of before they went on to the ferry Firefly, so it's quite old. And the only thing that you can get of it was a vac form, so I got the vac form kit. By the way, I was saying that Academy kit, I wanted the BR1 engine. I actually found a guy in America who has collected together lots and lots and lots of these white metal moulded accessory things. Was it Aries or something like that used to make? And he had a BR1. It cost me like 20. He just basically said, well, how much do you want to pay for it? And I said, well, how about $20 and you send it? He said, yeah, that's cool. And so he sent it to me from New York. that was pretty groovy. The thing, there's things to do with vacuum that there's some tricks I picked up and learnt on the way. If you look at the video, actually the other thing I made in vacuum recently, of course, was the fountain. The fountain for my, I'm sure I should put it under there. There you go, fountain for my diorama set. That's all vac form. So if you have a look at the diorama thing, there's some basic sort of stuff on there about using vac form that kind of works a lot for no matter what you're building. I think the plane wasn't that much. I actually quite enjoyed making the plane. Once you get the idea of how to do it, you got to remember that the vac form, the part of the vac form comes, you know, does all the shape here, there, and the side comes down. It meets the sheet of plastic it's been formed from. First of all, the part doesn't include the thickness of the sheet. The design is the part finishes at the top edge of the sheet, not at the bottom of the sheet. So that's all got to go. You've got to sand that off. Also, there's going to be a bit of a lip because vac form isn't. It's not injection molding. You don't get a sharp corner between the two. You get a sort of a bit of that. So what I always do is use a fine marker and draw around the base, and that gives me both the height and a rough position. So now if I sand to that marker and cut up to that marker, I know I've got the sanding's the right level, and then any sort of lip there, I get rid of that, and that's the part is about right. It kind of works. Just, you know, yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Gannets. Yeah, people would talk about gannets. Yeah. I am looking forward to the gannet arriving. Just because it's 1/48th and it's Fleet Air Arm. I've got a thing about Fleet Air Arm. I kind of got a thing about 1/48th at the moment, and I love it. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to it. Yeah, the AW3 Dane, I did ask about it, and basically it's an entirely different airframe. Excuse me, so they can't modify the one they've got now to make an AW3. It would be a totally different plane base. No, the wings would be the same, but that's about it. Yeah. Would I consider selling off built models in an auction and reinvesting money in Channel 2 cameras? Would I consider selling them off? I would consider it, Robert, but the problem is shipping them. Shipping them securely so they don't arrive broken. I've had problems with that in the past. I used to do a lot of 15mm wargame making. In fact, here's, excuse me a moment, here's a 15mm rifleman. There he is, firing his Baker rifle. Better view. There he is. I used to do these a lot. I used to do a lot of wargaming. I painted a lot of them, and then eventually I sort of sold a lot of them. And the big problem was shipping them securely because, you know, going through the post and all that. So yeah, I would consider it, but you know, it's just the problem is shipping securely. It probably costs a lot of money and a lot of time and technology that I don't have. I don't think you can just put it in a plastic bag and chuck a load of starch chips in, because of course I won't use polystyrene chips because that's not good for the environment. Starch chips can be composted. So do you know what? It's a possibility, and it would raise a bit of money, I suppose. But yeah, whatever. Okay, Red Des, yeah, you're on. I'll find something else to stick on my tank. My King Tiger. I've got all these bits sitting around. I should be doing something with them. Right, have I been to East Midlands Airport Airbrushing? No, I haven't. That's another one on the list. I should go and visit one day. There's a lot of really cool museums around. A lot of really cool air museums that you know, it's only recently I've started going back to Hendon, and I live like 20 minutes or 30 minutes away from there. Anyway, let me find some stuff to put in. A5 and A6 and A frame A. Here's frame A. Right, let's start cutting some stuff out, and then I get to have another swig of Weissbier. Right, A5. Okay, we'll start with A5. East Midlands Airport. Is that Donington? Castle Donington? Because I do remember going to the Donington Monsters of Rock Festival and not being able to hear planes landing over our heads because it's next to East Midlands Airport, I'm sure. Happy days. Happy days. Yeah, Newark, great. I've heard South Yorkshire, Doncaster, yeah, of course. I heard rumours that they were having to move stuff from Doncaster. I don't know, I think they're going to do something to it, but anyway. Yeah, Hasegawa MiG-25 was a Decepticon triple changer blitz. Okay, if you say so. No idea. Sometimes I'm looking, I've got to tell you, I'm looking at scale mates for Monday Matters about what's new, and some of the stuff I've seen, I look at that I actually have no idea what it is, why people build them. I mean, I kind of get the idea of the Gundam stuff as all sort of weird, sort of fancy stuff, but then there's some stuff on there you think, what, why would you do that? What are you getting out of that? You know, I don't know. Things I want to do next, something I really want to do next year is get back to going to see a few air shows. Actually, obviously not Shoreham. The Royal International Air Tattoo I would love to go to. Maybe I should have a chat with my mate Neil, and we should have a boys' road trip to go and see that, because I used to go back in the day when it was at Greenham Common, and it was just brilliant. I mean, just really enjoyable show. There's a lot on. I mean, a lot of things flying, a lot of really interesting things flying. I'm sure it'll be much better now. Huh. Oh, they let you climb in the Vulcan? What, actually, like in the cockpit and stuff? So I've been inside the cockpit of a Vulcan when I was a cadet, when I was at not Broady, St Athan. RS St Athan. There was a servicing place, and you know, major servicing for planes. They did servicing on Vulcans there, and they took us around there. Really cool. I haven't made the Hasegawa 148th F86, Rob, to be honest. I liked the FX1 a lot, actually, but I don't know. In what way is it a nicer kit, I wonder? Because I did, as I said, I did like the FX1. I enjoyed making it. It was pretty cool. I can't remember any major issues with it. Just read a review of it in the IPMS magazine. That's something I've forgotten to tell you all. I joined the IPMS, International Plastic Modelling Society, the other day, at last, after all this time. What a good idea that was. I have to say, initially, I'm doing it for very, I don't know if it's the right reasons or the wrong reasons, but it's my reasons, which is that because I'm going to Telford for both days, if I were to just buy tickets, it would be £46. If I join the IPMS, it's £28, and I get in for free for 2 days. So it was an absolute no-brainer. But then I thought, actually, it's about time I should do these things anyway. And yeah, I've got the first magazine, which looks really interesting. I go to my local club now. Yeah, so it was a a commercial decision first off, simply because it saves a shed load of money getting into Telford. Yep, Red Des, as you say, you get in for free with your membership card. And save yourself £46. It's £20 plus £3 booking for each day you want to go otherwise. And do you know, it looks really interesting. I don't know ultimately how much stuff I'll be doing through the IPMS and how much involvement I'll have with them. But yeah, I thought it was quite cool, so I joined up, and I'm glad I did actually. It's probably about time to be in the one of the associations, as it were, for something like this. Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah, Doncaster's where. See, I thought that they were going to have to move Hotel 558 for some reason. I got the impression they were going to try and sell the airfield or something. Maybe that's just a bit of scaremongering by one of the red top newspapers. I don't know. That's what I had heard, and that's, you know, they're going to have to move the Vulcan somehow. Maybe there was enough of a fuss that they thought, no, that's not happening. You can't possibly do that. I don't know. I would look it up, but I'm making a model kit. Chris, yeah, that's exactly. I think a lot of people do join up for that very reason, because, you know, 46 quid to go to the show for 2 days is a lot of money. I do understand, you know, they've got a lot of expenses. You know, I've various jobs in the past have been involved with trade shows and public shows and all that, and the costs are phenomenally high. I mean, stupidly high. But, you know, it saves a bit of money. It's a good idea. React 2007. Okay, it's a long time. I can't remember when my first. It's in the 90s. Right? I mean, it was definitely in the 90s, or maybe even the 80s. Paul, I hope that's still. Thank you, Paul. That's very kind of you to say that. He's kind of okay. Few issues still. He has started to go to a club on Thursdays, just like a day activity, and he actually really looks forward to it. We're going to see if he can go twice a week in future, on a Tuesday as well, because he really sort of brightens up. But he doesn't do a lot else, but he brightens up. He sees people, he gets out of the house, they pick him up, they drop him back off again, they even give him a bit of beer in the afternoon. It sounds like a lot of fun, and he looks forward to it. He's so I'm going to try and get him there. But yeah, thanks. He's still going. He's still keeping okay. And yeah, hopefully he'll be around for a little while yet. I really do. Oh, did an Ocean Gate Titan? Oh my goodness. Yeah. Hey John, dude, how are you? Good to see you. What? Tell me, you had some sort of paint explosion or something I saw on Facebook the other day. Tell me more about that. Rob, what do you do at the clubs? I don't know about every club, but the one I go to at Harrow, you just take along things you've made recently, or kits you've just bought recently, or works in progress, and you stand around and you chat, and you drink tea and coffee and eat cakes and biscuits, and you chat about modelling for a couple of hours with people who are into modelling and actually want to know what you think. And also there's a guy there who's there's people that have got expertise in different things, which is really nice, and they're always really good to share all these great ideas, their experience and their knowledge. There's a guy there who knows about LEDs, putting LEDs in kits, and there's a couple of things that I want to do. One is a project for next year, but I've just been sent the ICM midget U-boat, the Molch midget U-boat, and I want to put a crew figure in there, because I think it's a one-person boat. It's basically like a midget submarine with 2 torpedoes in there, and they were terrible. I mean, they lost loads of them. But I want to put a crew figure in, and I just want to put a bit of lighting in there, that sort of orangey bulb lighting for the, and because it comes with a little display stand, I'm reckoning you could put the battery and the control circuit in underneath the stand, and then just put a couple of LEDs in. That's what I want to do. So I need to have a chat with my man at the club to see how I'm going to go and do about that. So yeah, that's the idea. You know, it's just a meeting of very like-minded people. Harrow costs like £3 a go, and as I say, you've got tea and coffee and cake and biscuits, homemade cakes and stuff like that. It's really lovely. It's really nice. So it gets me out of the house, not by going to a public house, by going to meet a load of fellow model makers, and we can chat, we can discuss all things, and just chill. We just like chill. It's really cool. I really enjoy it, I have to say. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, John. The metal mixing ball at the bottom of an AK bowl. Oh my god. Dude, that is really not great. Andy, yeah. Do you know what? I think it very much depends on the club. I will say the one I go to, then it really is quite the opposite. There's a lot of very creative people there. There was a guy there, lovely chap. Last time he scratch built the flight deck for a Strata Cruiser or Stratoline or something like that. One of those old double deck Boeing things in 144th scale, but like all the crew seats and the desks and the charts, and it was a work of art. It was so beautiful. And he said, "Yeah, I'm going to put that in the model now." And it's like, it was a lovely thing, and it's just going to go into, I'd say it's going to go into his model, and it's probably never going to be able to appreciate the beauty of it again. We did that. And there's guys doing some really amazing stuff. There's guys doing science fiction and fantasy. There's guys doing cars and bikes. There's guys doing planes, like ships. There's all sorts of lots of different things. And do you know what? I found it very welcoming. And there's been people who've turned up there, and you welcome them. That's what you got to do with clubs. You got to say hi, come on in. How are you? What do you get up to? I really enjoyed it. But I guess it does depend on the club. I'm sure there are some clubs that aren't quite as nice. I'm sure there's some clubs that are just astonishing places to go and you just don't want to leave. Harrow's a really nice club to visit, I have to say. Really nice club to visit. Dane, off to bed. My friend, have a lovely evening. Thank you so much for joining me. And Dane leaves and Emma turns up. Hi Emma, how are you? Alright. Oh, that's cool. That's pretty cool. Red Des, I hope you enjoy going there. 10-minute walk away. That's fine. I mean, the Harrow Club for me is literally a 10-15 minute drive. It was 15 minutes there because it starts at 8. 10 o'clock on a Thursday night. It takes 10 minutes to get home, and the car does like sort of 60 miles a gallon or something because it's on the hill, downhill all the way. And if you're lucky with the traffic lights, it's pretty much downhill literally to our front door. And yeah, I think about 59.9 miles per gallon one week. Anyway, hope you like it there, Red, because I think if it's a good club, then it does encourages you, but also it kind of encourages other people as well. You can share your enthusiasm and your knowledge. And so it's like, have you ever built? Oh yeah, I built one of those. Or I've never built one of those. I made one of those a couple of years ago. There's a lot of that, a lot of ebbing and flowing. It's really late. It's just really, really, really nice. I was just catching up. So, yeah, photography club. I have been in photography clubs in the past. Photography is my former sort of world that I was in. I was in the Royal Photographic Society. In fact, worked for the Royal Photographic Society for 5 years. There can be an obsession with, it can go both ways. Sometimes it can be obsessively over technical, and sometimes it can be obsessively over creative, artistic, you know, a bit too, but dude, that's not sharp, or dude, that's not like exposed properly. Yeah, but you know, that's kind of like how it worked out, and I think that's a commentary on it. Halfway between is nice. So if someone says, no, I was trying to get this effect, one thing I was figuring out, so I was experimenting with, was losing people in a scene by using really long exposures, which is fine, it's been done for years, but I wanted just like a sort of a flow, a sort of ethereal, sort of cloudy like effect of people. So I was looking at places in London and doing different exposures, so, but I was doing it on film, and you know, I was able to hook up with people, other people in the technical side of things, who I knew through the RPS because I was in the science part of the IPS. Some of the guys there, one of the guys, you know, I was chatting with one of the guys once who used to work at Kodak, and I said, do you know what I really miss is Kodak Color too, because it was a really good quality, but very basic, but very good quality film. And he said, oh, that's nice, I invented it. So yeah, it's sort of people like that all there all the time. They're amazing. And so I got a lot of stuff back about working out the exposures and the way the processing should be done, stuff like that. Loads of stuff like that. But there's also people that are saying, yeah, that's kind of interesting result, but had you thought maybe about shifting it that way, or maybe making that the focus? And so see, there are people that have the creative eye as well as the people with the technical eye, and that's the kind of balance you need in any of these clubs where you've got a hobbyist or something that's being creative. You need someone who's there who can just sort of go off on one about how you can do these wonderful things, and whoa, you can do that, and paint this and that. And there's other guys saying, yeah, that's great. Now, if you want to do that, what you need is something like, or this paint will do that, but you're going to need to thin it down a bit more. That sort of balance of information, I think, is really, really important. And that's what I'm finding at these clubs. I really am. Emma, how do you find a club? If you go on the IPMS website and have a look at their affiliated clubs and try and find one near you, and get in touch with them, email them at the IPMS and say, where's the nearest club to me? This is the postcode area I live in. Where's my nearest club? And they'll put you in touch and let you know where it is. Have I done a crashed aircraft armor kit? No, I haven't, Jake. I haven't. I guess we'll, maybe we'll. Right, cool. Excellent. I'm glad you had a good time there, Red Des. Really, really happy. Yeah, there are some people who do like proper top level shows on these things, kits and these things. And there's people just do it for the fun of it, like most of us do, actually. James Grand, it'd be fantastic if you can pop into Telford. And as I said to you earlier, if you didn't hear earlier, please, I'll be there both days. Please do come and say hi. But just remember to introduce yourself, because I don't know what most of you guys look like. Yeah, John, oh hi John, good to see you. Well, do you know what, 74, 70s are the new 50s, so you know what, keep it going. Don't you worry about it. Joe, good to see you, my friend. I'll do my very best to keep the good work up. Got a few things from you up there to do, so I think actually I was looking at the ME262 the other day, thinking, oh no, I need to sort of slot that in as a build soon. Maybe I'm doing that. Yeah, Andy, yeah, how to use an airbrush properly. YouTube can't show you what you're doing wrong. That's absolutely true. All we can do on YouTube is show you how we do stuff. You know, it may not be right or wrong, I don't know, but I can only show you how I do things, and if I make a mistake, I'll show you how I get around it if I can. If I make a really bad mistake, then I just have to own it and think, well, that was rubbish then, Gary. But yeah, it would be great if more places could do that, actually. Yeah, be great. So it actually should be something that clubs could. Some of the clubs probably do. The larger clubs probably do things like that. You know. Bobby, can you still get the Hobby 2000 Harrier? I believe you can. It's essentially the Hasegawa Harrier 2. The big thing about it is it comes with new decals, which are cartograph, I'm going to say. And it comes with a paint mask for the canopy, which is useful. It doesn't come with much in the way of weapons, however. So you may want to do a bit of aftermarket for those. I noticed someone just started doing the Paveway 4 bombs in 1/48 as well, which is cool. So you will have, they give you a Sidewinder, but they don't give you the can't remember the name of the extra the Strike Force or Joint Force Harrier ones, sort of bowl rail, BOL rail. It sort of goes from where the outrigger wheel is, that fairing, there's a rail that extended, and they put the sidewinders on that because the outer pylon they used for the Paveway 4. Then the next one in was the CRV7, which I can't find anywhere. Then the bowl rail with the sidewinder. Then the fuel tank. Was the way the stores went on. That was the standard thing for the Afghan campaign. So you might have to do a bit of work to get all of those, but it's a lovely kit. I actually really enjoyed it. Did I finish the Darth Vader TIE Fighter? I kind of did, actually. Don't know where it is. I did. I just had to paint it from where I had it last. Just sprayed it. Yeah, I did. I'll try and find it, Jaws, and show it you next time. I'll try and find out where I put it. Like so many times, I don't know where half this stuff is. What's on the bench, John? This is the Meng. You wouldn't know it because it's been like this essentially for like 3 months. It's the Meng King Tiger Porsche turret tune kit. So like an egg kit but a tank. If you see what I mean. An egg tank. I love it. It's just, you know, it's fun. Anyway, so I've actually put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces on it tonight, which is like way more than normal. Michael, I'm glad you like the show, man. Good night. Thanks for coming along. I enjoy doing them. I love doing them. I am amazed that any of you like listening to me for this length of time. Maybe you don't. Maybe you do. I don't know. Maybe you've got nothing else that you feel like doing. Sitting there thinking, do you know what? May as well watch Gary. And some of you, I know, enjoy it, and I'm really gratified by that. Goodness knows why. Would it be interesting at the end of the group build to get rough stats for what themes are most popular? Yeah, I'm sure airplanes basically are going to be the most popular. But then it might be because I mainly do airplanes and more people watch my channel because I mainly do airplanes. Rather than, you know what I mean, it's kind of like a difficult thing to analyse. Trust me, I do Google Analytics all the time, and data analysis is just like this black art, and it's really difficult to figure out how things are working. But you know, there we go. Eggs and tune kits are absolutely awesome. You're absolutely right, Jules. I've got MiG-15 to do, and I've got HMS Hood and USS Lexington up there in tune or egg, which is great. Must have another drink. So thirsty. Oh, that's better. Well, thank you, Jaws. Yeah, it's nice. Just past 13,000, as you may know. Which, you know, for 2 years I'm really happy with. When you're a content creator, as we're called, you always want more. You always are searching for more subscribers and all that, and it's difficult. You kind of have to think long term about these things and just chill. And do you know, it's difficult to sometimes when it's your profession, when it's your full-time job. It's kind of difficult to chill. But then, you know, I watched a video a little while ago by a guy called Roberto Blake, who knows a lot about how to do businesses on YouTube, and he referred to the subscriber count as a vanity thing. You know, he said, yeah, by all means, check out how many subscribers you do, but you know, it's not actually going to make much difference because it's a vanity metric. That's what he called it. And I mean, his reasoning, I guess, is that you don't get paid by subscribers; you get paid by views. Although the more subscribers you have, the more views you're likely to get, but it's not a direct thing. He said, you know, maybe concentrate more on getting your content, this, and that. And yeah, okay, right. But you know what? It's a good yardstick for how the business is going, is how many subscribers you have. And you know, it kind of does you good as well. And it sounds kind of weird. It sounds kind of a bit sort of self-aware and whatever. But you know, when you see how, you know, 12 now 13,000 people have signed up to YouTube to watch your stuff. I mean, not everyone does by any means, but a quarter to a third of people who are subscribers actually watch videos. Looking at the numbers, but that's quite, you know, quite normal. But you know, it's just fun to know how many people are doing it, and it does give you a rough idea of how things are going. And I'm sure YouTube look at it as potential audience sizes, and it does help the numbers and all the rest of it. But yeah, but it is actually really gratifying that, you know, you do your best to do stuff, and you think, oh, I'm going to try this, going to try that, and if your subs are still going up, and you know, touch wood, recently they've been going up steadily for quite a few months now, day by day. You kind of think you are doing something right. You've always got to try and improve. And do you know what, you guys, please tell me how you think I can improve things. If you think, you know what, you really could do. You know, I've seen this channel. Not necessarily always what other channels do, because we've all got a play around path here, and we all have unique selling points and all these different things. But you know, you can learn from other people as well. So if you think, do you know what, I saw this other day and this guy did this, and I think that was really cool, and I think, you know, do you know what, I could have a go at that as well. I'll try it, because do you know what? It's the only way you can learn, really, is from other people and trying stuff, you know. When's my next? That was when video being released, Derek. When I get around to making one, I have to say they take an inordinate amount of time to make. One of those videos will probably take 3 to 4 days solid, and I'm talking like 8 to 10 hours for 3 or 4 days. And the problem is, in those 3 or 4 days, I could have made a chipmunk or whatever. I could have made another kit. So I'm going to try and just do bits and pieces of feeding those in, one a month, once every 2 or 3 weeks, something like that. But I need to like think way ahead, pick a date, and then start collecting some. I like them. I like doing them, and I think it's a good thing to do. But as I was saying earlier, life has conspired recently to put a few things in the way. But you know what? If it was easy, everyone would do it. Let's face it, as Ben and Jerry say. But it's fun. It's still fun, which is really cool. 13,000 is a small town. Exactly, Peter. You know, it's a lot of people. It is an insane amount of people. More people than watch the average Middlesex cricket county game, I have to say. Apart from T20, obviously. But, you know, it's a start. It's only 2 years I've been doing this. I keep thinking, oh God, I've been doing this it's only 2 years. My last job I was in for 5 years. The job before that I was in for 24 years. So, you know, I'm early days, and I have plans. I have a lot of plans. Exactly, dude. It is enjoying it, and I say it is living the dream. And I hope that comes across. I really do enjoy making my videos. As my late mother would have said to you, I love dressing up and showing off in front of people or in front of a camera. But I hope it means that I can be relaxed and natural with it. Because I'm never going to be Plasmo. I'm never going to be an artist. But do you know what? I just enjoy what I do, and if I can, if someone learns a bit or sees me make an absolute howler of a mistake and think, thank God he's done that because now I know how to not do it, then that is a winner to me. I'm really, really happy. Yeah. Thanks, Des. Yeah, do you know what? I try to be just friendly and all the rest of it. Emma, do you know what? I haven't done DIY decals, but I do want to, so I will be finding out about that very, very soon, because I want to put some DIY decals on the ferret when I get around to building that. So I'll do that. Paul, I'm glad you like the history con. I am going to work on some more the 12 Planes of Christmas idea again over the Christmas and New Year break. I'm going to have a crack at doing that again. I really actually need to start doing that fairly soon. So that would be 12 days, 12 different planes over the Christmas break, and it gives me a bit of time off as well, just to sort of sit back and breathe and relax and come back fresh in the new year. So that's the idea of that. So I will be doing that. Okay, how about a video on how the process works? Yeah, I can do that. That's easy because I video an awful lot of stuff, and I have. Do you know what? That could be an interesting thing to do. Day in the life of a YouTuber. My enthusiasm is inspired. Thank you, John. Do you know what? The feedback I get keeps me going. It's very kind, generally speaking. Actually, almost exclusively very kind feedback and very generous feedback, and meant even when there's criticism, it's meant from a good place of saying, this I've noticed this, but could maybe you should, and that's really cool, and I do like that. I really that's not an issue to me. I really, really do. And Deba, do you know what? Thank you so much. I am going to try and figure out ways of being a bit more interactive about things. Maybe with the supporter specials or something. Maybe I'll do a two-way thing, but I need to get some software to do that. But I need to for video interviewing as well. So maybe that'll be something I'll start in the not too distant future. But in any way, I do want feedback. I want you to tell me how you think things are going. I don't just want you blowing smoke up me. What's it saying? Oh, you're brilliant, don't it? Because that's lovely and very encouraging, but that's not how I'm going to get better. If you see what I mean, I want to get better at what I'm doing. This guy Roberto Blake says try and be 1% better every video you make. Well, I've made 400 videos, so I'd have to actually be 400% better. Ain't going to happen necessarily, but I do want to be better, and I want you guys to enjoy it. And it's going to be a bit more slick, and it's going to be a bit more tighter editing and a bit better camera work, and these things evolve, these things happen. My skills get better, hopefully. Maybe the range of kits I do, think about stuff like that, and I'm happy to try stuff out on the channel. I really am. So do keep your comments coming. It is a two-way thing. I really, really do think this is a two-way thing. I want it to be a two-way thing. I don't want to just sit here and tell you what to do and this is what I do like that. I'm genius from my life, because I am not that. Let's be quiet. If you haven't realised that yet, you ain't seen enough of my videos. Yeah, I'm just here to have a good time, and I hope you are too. And that's kind of it. And let's make some decent models on the way if we can. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yes, I actually was thinking about it the other day. I'm going to start on one. Actually, I'll probably start over the weekend. I've got some stuff to do, but Monday matters apart from anything else. But yeah, I'm going to start banking those away as well. Okay, very nearly 10 o'clock. Oh, it is 10 o'clock. My goodness. Time, I, I promise you, I look at these things and I think, oh, what am I going to talk about for 2 hours? And this is unusual that I've put so many pieces on this plastic thing, more than I normally do. I will have to tell you, this will probably be done by about March, maybe April. Um, Thank you all for dropping by. Really, thank you so much. I know you've probably got a lot better things to be doing for Thursday evening in October. But thank you so much for dropping by and for all your chat and for all your messages and everything. It's a delight as always. So the next one again will be first Thursday of next month, which will be first 2nd of November is the next one. That'll be the last one, obviously, before Telford, which is all very exciting. I hope I'll have some really cool news for you about something else. Yeah, I'm just waiting for some confirmation of something. It's not necessarily I'm doing, but it's just something I was kind of involved with. It's actually really exciting that I'd love to be able to tell you about. But there's also a lot of other stuff coming up on the channel and building and other things like that. Of course, I've got my Equinox build to finish. Yeah, group build has made the Facebook group busy. Yes, it has. Do you know what? I saw the other day. There's so many people on there. It's so nice, and it's a good. While you're still here, those of you that are on the Facebook group, thank you for keeping it so welcoming to new people and for keeping the tone just right. It's very helpful. It's very constructive. There's no showboating. There's no nastiness. It's just a really nice space for model makers to be, and I know there's a lot of new model makers there and they like that. And thank you all as members of the Facebook group for being that good with it, because it's a real joy for me to read what's going on. And the group build that was suggested to me we should do one, and that was one of the best suggestions I made, because that's been a blast. And remember, it goes on to the 21st of October, so all of you getting your hovercraft over the weekend, they count. Get building. 21st is the cut-off date, yeah? End of the day on the 21st. So if it's the morning of the 21st and you still have some varnish to put down, you still have some decals to do on, you'll still make it in time. Don't you worry, I may be a little bit flexible, but don't tell everyone that. Steve, good to see you. Thanks very much, mate. Chris, not even knitting. Lorraine, I'm honoured. I'm touched and honoured. Thank you so much for not knitting while I've been chatting. I'm sure more than one or two other people are. John, do you know what, dude? I am really looking forward to meeting you in person at Telford. That's going to be a blast. That's going to be so nice to meet you in person. You're a good guy. I know a lot. You are a very good guy, and I want to shake your hand. I know what you've been up to in the background doing stuff. Yeah, I'd like to meet you. Chris, lovely to see you, and I'll be seeing you at Telford. Anyway, as I say, next month we'll chat a bit more about Telford, and maybe I'll have some ideas about what we can maybe catch up and do. Derek, great to have you. I'm not going to keep you guys any longer because it is way gone 10 o'clock. Monday Matters, don't forget Monday Matters. Hopefully I'll have another build video for you very soon, depending on how the chipmunk goes, and I've actually got another thing going. And of course there's the mistel to do, and loads. Monday Matters will be here no matter what, and then there's loads more stuff coming out. Oh, I've just been given a load of ICM paints as well, so I've got to do a paint test on those. That'll be happening over the next couple of weeks. I'll be doing that. So thank you all so very, very much for tuning in. Thank you for coming on to watch the channel, and I'll see you all again on Monday. Have a brilliant weekend. If you're in the south of the UK, it's going to be an absolute scorcher, so get those barbecues fired up. Whatever the weather is, have a great time. Take very good care of yourselves, and I will see you on Monday. Goodbye.